All right. This is Keith on his morning commute. It is Saturday, April 16th, 2022. Going to do a little first of my morning commutes with a little sound check. Trying to dial in the camera. On this run, I'm going to try to be a little bit more chatty. As I ride into work. Hopefully, there'll be nothing interesting in this little ride, and it'll just be me yammering on about nonsense. So the bike I'm riding is my personal 2006 V-Strom DL1000 that I affectionately call Rossi. Probably my favorite middleweight adventure bike, if you want to call it adventure bike. Let's see if Tobin has anything new sitting out today. Doesn't look like it. Immediate openings. Come apply, come apply. So if an organization is always hiring, there's probably a reason. As I'm recording this, I do not know what the sound quality is like. I haven't pulled the first video that I took, so I may be talking to myself, which is fine. I talk to myself a lot. Stay. And always assume you're invisible. And if you're not sure if someone sees you, watch the tires. If the tires are turning, the car is moving. Sometimes that is the only indicator that you really have that someone is going to pull out in front of you, is those tires rotating. Like this car here, they're not moving, so we're good. Hopefully this will be a regular upload to my personal YouTube channel, my morning ride, my morning commute. I'll try to take different routes, find different scenarios. My idea is that it'll be a learning experience for me on basic editing. Develop some skills. Because the only way to get better at anything is with practice. Everything in life, no one is ever good at something their first time out. You may think that they're good, but what you don't understand is that they had practiced a lot before you saw them do something for the first time. So let's talk about Rossi 06 V-Strom DL1000. Solidly a middleweight adventure bike. The only modification I've done to this bike is that I have increased the rear sprocket 3 teeth. The reason I did that was to make it better low-end performance, sacrificing high-end, top-end speed. Gives it more torque, a little bit more acceleration off the line. Now the downside of doing that, the biggest downside, is that my speedometer runs fast by 10-15 miles per hour. Like right now, my speedometer is saying I am doing 35. I'm actually probably only doing about 25. And then that error increases as I go faster. So when it says I'm indicated 60, I'm actually only doing about 50. When it says indicated 80, I'm only doing about 65. I verified this with a GPS unit last summer. Which isn't a problem as long as you know that your speedometer is off by that much. The other bad thing about it is that also my odometer is running faster, so it's showing that I'm putting on more miles than I actually am. That's okay. I'll never sell this bike. Lehigh Valley's newest Wawa and McDonald's. Because we need more Wawas. We can take a moment to talk about my camera setup. It's a Sena C10 Pro. This is the second time I've been using it. So I can't, at this point, talk about the quality of the image stabilization, what have you, or the audio. I'm hoping the camera has the ability to knock out all the wind noise. This particular helmet gives me a lot of wind noise in my ears, but I don't know if that's translating into the audio pickup of the camera. So right now I'm indicated 60 on my speedometer. I know that's just under 50 miles an hour. Guess I'll find out when I pull the video whether the camera is picking up my speedometer or not. So neat thing about Rossi, it's an adventure bike, but I've actually had this bike on the track out at Pit Race in Pittsburgh. That's how I know how bad the speedometer loses actual speed. I strongly advise, if you are an experienced rider, no matter what bike you have, getting into some type of a riding class that's on a real track, because it allows you to ride at street speeds with a professional instructor who can critique you and give you pointers on how to be a better rider. Got a box truck behind me. Yeah. Why don't you go tailgate somebody else? All right. This is one of my favorite roads. Veracruz Road. Snakes along South Mountain. Never any traffic. Lots of twisties. I wouldn't say twisties. It's a fun road. Being April, you still have to be conscious of debris on the road from winter maintenance. A lot of these municipalities still haven't swept the road off. So there's still sand and gravel in some of the corners. Also sand and gravel on a lot of the intersections still. One, two, three. over the tracks. So pretty uneventful, uninteresting ride in. Not a lot happening. Lazy Saturday morning, nobody's up yet. We roll past one of the Rossi Pizzeria, one of our favorite places to get lunch. They deliver. And they do their own deliveries. I'm sure you could use the Grubhub or the Uber Eats, but you can also have their own delivery guy do the delivery, and that way the money goes to the delivery guy and not to some faceless corporation who inserted themselves into a transaction for absolutely no reason. I have strong feelings about those programs. Like right there's a whole bunch of gravel in the middle of the intersection. This little curve often has gravel sitting on it, and I'm not disappointed. Right there. Buckeye Road. So as I roll into work, I'm going to give you 4 things that you can do to dramatically reduce your risks on the road as a motorcyclist. 1, wear a helmet. It's my tagline for a reason. A properly sized and fitted helmet is one of the most important things you can do as a motorcyclist. 2, 0 tolerance on alcohol. No alcohol. 1 drink starts the impairment process, and you cannot ride as effectively as when you are sober. 3, keep your speeds reasonable. And the 4th is to get some training. Continuous improvement. Motorcycling is a lifelong endeavor. You always want to get better, and you can get better by practicing and getting training with people who are professionals. And with that, I'm out.